Cat 2 Heads. Introduction. It's a pleasant day in Huddersfield, barely even drizzling, and you've decided to take advantage of the perfect opportunity to enjoy the outdoors. As your walk takes you nearer to Hudder's dungeon, you hear an awful wailing noise. Ghosts? You wonder out loud. Not one to back down from a challenge, even a spooky one, you rush to the entrance of the dungeon where you spot the gnomes, Annabelle and Kevin. As you get closer, you realise that the source of the unearthly howling isn't coming from any ghost. Oh no, it's Kevin, sitting on the ground and crying the largest, weepiest tears that you've ever seen. "Oh, I'm glad to see you," Annabelle shouts as you approach. "Oh, Kevin's lost his cats, Remy and Luna. They're stuck in the dungeon. Can you help us get them out?" "How did that happen?" you ask. Kevin takes a deep breath and manages to squeak out between sobs. "I wanted to feel like a fancy person and ride them like horses, so I tried to do a spell to make them bigger, but... Kevin's chin wavers, fresh tears spilling from his eyes. "Oh, they got bigger all right," Annabelle continues, "except the magic went a tiny bit wrong, and instead of 2 horse-sized cats, they became one giant 2-headed cat. Now they're too big to get through the dungeon entrance, and I don't know what I'm going to do." Kevin collapses again in sobs. Not one to back down from a challenge, even a giant hairball-sized one, you promise the gnomes that you will find the 2-headed Remy Luna and make everything right again. And with that, you leave the crying Kevin behind you as you enter Hudder's dungeon. Story Card H. You see before you a glowing magical altar surrounded by rubble. At your feet you spot 2 normal cat-sized collars. "I bet this is where Kevin tried to do his spell," you call to the others. They must have grown too big, burst out of their collars, and then knocked down these pillars while running away. You suspect you'll somehow need to make use of this mystical place to put the 2-headed Remy Luna cat right again. Just then, 2 orcs walk into the room. They must have heard you shouting to the others. Grunting to each other, they raise their weapons, threateningly. Story Card E. As you enter the room, you see a table covered in dishes, half-eaten forgotten meals, and tons of parchment and ink. Maybe this is where the monsters in this dungeon do their homework. "Wow, this room is messy," you say to your companions. "Or you would if you weren't sneezing so much from all the cat hair." Darn allergies. The 2-headed Remy Luna cat has definitely been in here. You wonder if anything helpful could be in this room, hidden under all this mess. Story Card L. You enter the room and immediately trip over a mouldy donut. What dungeon monster left that just lying around? You tumble right into what you thought was a pile of hay, but realise it's actually a giant mound of cat hair. The 2-headed Remy Luna cat has definitely been in here. You consider how lucky you'd been that you haven't come across any giant hairballs. As you pull yourself back to your feet, you sneeze, the largest sneeze in your entire life. Story Card L, Section 2. Your sneeze blows cat hair all around you, revealing a pile of rope. Thinking this might somehow come in handy, you pick it up. Story Card I. Following the trail of cat hair, you enter a small room and spot a giant 2-headed cat, all curled up in a giant empty treasure chest. Even monster cats like boxes, it seems. One half of the cat is orange with purple patches, and the other half is blue and has purple stripes all over, and... Yep, there are 2 heads, one orange, one blue. A total of 4 eyes that are suddenly open and definitely staring at you. The cat, startled by you, hisses in stereo in your direction. You know you need to somehow calm Remy Luna to lure it back over to the magical altar. Not one to back down from a challenge, even a giant allergy-ish one. You use your most charming voice and say, "Here, kitty, 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 kitty." Story Card H, Part 2, Section 1. You've done it! You've lured Remy Luna Cat back to the magic altar. Now, if you only knew the magic words to turn the two-headed cat back into two one-headed cats. Story Card H, Part 2, Section 2. That was it! Good thing everyone remembered a little bit of the spell. Before your very eyes, the giant two-headed cat shrinks and separates, becoming one normal-sized black cat and one normal-sized white cat with an orange stripe on its tail. You pick up the purring grateful cats and leave the dungeon. If you win the quest. When you see Kevin again, he's still crying, but this time with tears of joy, as the now normal-sized Remy and Luna rub his ankles and demand their dinner. You sneeze one final time, and you resume your drizzly walk through Huddersfield. Another challenge conquered. Well done, adventurers. You win the quest. If you lose the quest. In a fit of sneezing, you tumble back through the dungeon entrance and into the fresh air. Those allergies were just too much. You promise Kevin that you'll return soon and try again, just as soon as you get some hands on some allergy tablets. You lost the quest. Better luck next time.